Hey everyone! Today we'll be taking a look at the essential utility everyone should know on Ancient, covering everything from smokes and flashes to Molotovs and HE grenades. Whether you're looking to take control of key areas on the map or disrupt enemy setups, this guide has you covered. And don't forget, there are free refrag trial codes and timestamps in the description to help you follow along. And now, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're going to start things off over here on the T side, and the first smoke I'm going to show you is for Red Room. To throw this, what you're going to do is get yourself lined up in the middle of this pillar. Then you're going to find this brick on the arch right here. You're going to aim at the left side of it directly in the center, and then it's a simple left click and jump throw. The smoke will fly over this wall into mid, bounce off the stair there, and then completely block off Red Room so that the CTs can't see through it. Another piece of utility you can throw to help your teammates get out into mid is the flash, and you can do this by lining yourself up with this pushed out brick right here, then finding these small black triangles and going to the third one from the wall, and then aim at the tip of it, and it's a left click jump throw. I like to throw this flash as my teammates are passing this front edge of this cube right here, so I'll watch them on the minimap, and as they're running up here, I'll throw the flash, so as they peek, it's going off and blinding any of the CTs that are coming down mid aggressively, and from their point of view, it'll look something like this. As you can see, there's not very much time to react to it, and they're going to get full white by it. Another good piece of utility to throw from T-spawn here is thrown by getting into this corner back here, and then you're going to aim at the top part of this building right here. So you're going to go up just above it to the right, so your crosshair's in this position, then you're going to left click and jump throw. And this smoke will actually land inside of the Cheeta entrance here and block it off so that the CTs can't be aggressive early. If the CTs are consistently taking mid control and you want to help your teammates out that are playing down by B doors, it's really important to molly off these boxes right here so that the CTs can't peek down towards them. So what you can do to throw this is get into this corner here, and then you're going to aim at the top middle part of this wall, and then it's a left click throw. And it's pretty important to get a pre-aim set up for this lineup because a lot of times it's going to be smoked off. So make sure to practice this and kind of get a muscle memory set for it. So you're somewhere in this area, and then you can left click throw and still hit the molly even if there's a smoke up obstructing your view. There's one last simple piece of utility I want to cover for mid on the T side, and it's the molly for donut. So if you think that there might be a CT playing behind this thing right here, what you can do is just bounce a molly off of the back wall like this, and you're just going to take a step and then left click throw directly in the middle. And as you can see, it'll pop behind here, flushing out any of the CTs that might be playing behind it, but you will have to watch both sides because they can come out either way. When it comes to the B side over here, the two main things you're going to want to know how to smoke off are short and long. And in order to do this, what you can do for short is line yourself up with this mark on the door, like so. Then you're going to find the tall part of the plant and aim just to the right of the tip of it, like so, and then left click throw. This smoke will land like so, blocking off the short side. Now for the long side, what you can do is get into this corner here, find this gap in the leaves like so, and then left click throw. But you do want to make sure that you have a teammate in front of you watching so that they don't push down the ramp and get you while you're lining up a nade. Some other pieces of utility can be thrown from the same position that you're throwing the short smoke from. And these are going to be a pillar molly, and that'll look something like this. So you're going to find this crack on the wall like so. Then you're going to do a left click and jump throw, and that'll look something like this. And it will burn out both sides of the pillar, making it so that no CTs can play behind it for cover. And then the last piece of utility that you're going to throw from that position here is a flash for the site. And to do this, you're going to find this mark on the brick, and you're going to aim at the bottom right of it, and then left click and jump throw. And this flash will actually pop above the pillar here, so I'll show you that again. And the cool part about that is that your teammates, as they're coming up ramp, won't be completely blind from it, but any of the CTs that are playing back towards the site watching ramp will get absolutely destroyed. To help you and your team take cave control, you can throw a molly that'll keep any of the CTs behind this choke point right here. And you can throw this by aiming at the top right part of this wall and then throwing the molly while you're running up. So it'll look something like this. And it will pop like so and spread, denying the CTs from coming forward at all. And once that's all burnt out and you've actually taken cave control, if you need to smoke short from cave, you can do so by aiming at the center of this part on the wall right here, and then just left click throwing, and it will block off short. Some other utility you can throw to help support your teammates' cave take is a molly that will burn behind the pillar but also burn the entrance to cave, because a lot of the times what will happen is if your teammates have thrown the molly that prevents the CT from coming forward here, the CT might play on this angle right here, jiggling it and not being visible to ramp. So what you can do is line yourself up with this green stuff on the back here, and you're going to find the center part of this part of the wall like so, and then you're just going to do a simple left click throw, and this will bounce off of that piece of wood and burn behind the pillar but also the entrance to cave, making the CTs go into a different location. Now you can follow that up from the same position with a flashbang that will pop right above the entrance of cave. So what you're going to do for this is aim at this intersection of these bricks right here, and then you're going to left click and jump throw the flash. And the cool thing about this is, once again, it's going to pop behind the pillar from the ramp player's point of view. So as you're coming up here, they're not going to get blind by it, but any of the CTs that are playing in positions like this or even this tight one back here are absolutely going to get destroyed by it. Alright, so taking a look over here on the A side of the map, the two main choke points you're going to want to smoke off are going to be your CT and Donut. And you can throw both of these from behind A main, and for the CT smoke, you're going to get yourself stuck into this corner back here. Then you're going to aim at the top left part of these two pillars where they intersect, like so. And it's going to be a simple left click jump throw, and it will pop like so. Then for Donut, what you're going to do is get yourself lined up in the center of this railing right here. You're going to go to the second column of X's directly in the middle. There's this dark spot. Aim there and then do a left click jump throw. And that will bounce off of this back wall up here and then pop inside of Donut. So after you've thrown the A smokes, a good flash to help your team get out is going to be thrown by doing a running jump throw while you're aiming in this general area, and it'll look something like this. And at the very least, it will take CTs off of their angle for just a second here, so they should be able to see it coming, and if they don't, they'll be slightly blind and at least allow your teammates to get out of A main just a little bit. And what your teammates can do from A main themselves is throw a flash that'll pop behind the big box here by aiming at the bottom of this plant, taking some steps and running and throwing the flash with the simple left click. And the cool part about this is that as you throw it, you can peek with it because it'll be behind this box, but it will also blind any of the CTs that are playing on the site looking towards main, as you can see like so. With that same lineup, you can also throw a molly that will pop behind the big box here, making it so that if any CTs are playing back here, they're going to have to move into the open. And the last molly they can throw from A main here is going to be for the site boxes here, and you can throw this by aiming in this general area. All you want to do is bounce it off of this back wall. So you're going to take a step and left click and throw. Alright, so now that we're on the CT side, let's take a look at a couple different mollies you can throw at the beginning of the round to deny Ts coming into mid. So for the deep Molotov, what you're going to do is get yourself lined up with the middle of this wall here. Then you're going to aim where the vine would meet the back wall like so. Then you're going to take a couple steps and throw the molly. It should look something like that and pop deep inside elbow. And you can throw another one that'll pop directly in front of that by getting into this position here, kind of in the middle of this red room over here on the left side. And you're going to aim above these plants at the height of this leaf right here. You're going to shift walk, take a couple steps and throw, and it should look something like this. You can also smoke off elbow a few different ways. So the first way is if you've already pushed into mid, let's say you have your mollies up, whatever, you can just bank a smoke off this back wall just by kind of taking a step and throwing one something like that, and it'll pop and block off the sight lines for the Ts. Another way you can do this is actually from Donut here. What you're going to do is get yourself lined up in the center of this wall, and you're going to aim at the bottom of the second column of X's, like so. And then you're going to take a step and jump through the smoke, like so. And this will bounce off of this wall here, and then go all the way into elbow. And the last way you can throw it is actually from CT spawn, and you can throw this at the beginning of the round by getting into the stuck position here. And then you're going to find the left side of this column, go all the way up, and then you're going to find the brick that's above that, go to the center of it. Then you're going to shift walk forward until you reach this bottom line right here, and then jump throw. It'll look something like this. Last up in mid, here are two different flashes you can throw for yourself to help you with the fight. For the first one, as you're coming out of red room, what you're going to do is bank a flash off of this back wall here so that it pops inside of the cubby. You can do this by aiming at the top of this pillar here. So as you're running out, it'll look something like this. And as you can see, it doesn't blind you as you're running out. But if the Cheese are really intent on coming out and taking that fight, they will get a face full of flash. The other way you can flash for yourself, if you are the donut player, is to jump and throw a flash off of this back wall here, something like this. And then you can swing with the flash and it'll pop behind you. And then from the T's perspective, it'll look something like this. Over here on the A site, the smokes are pretty self-explanatory to smoke off donut or A main, depending on where you're getting pressured from. But an important flash to know if you're coming over to help B in a retake scenario is the B support flash. And you can throw this by aiming somewhere near the bottom of this plant on the wall, taking a couple steps and jump throwing the flash like this. And from the Cheese perspective, if they're on B site looking towards long or short, they're going to fully eat this flash and possibly set your teammates up for a frag. Speaking of B site, here's a couple pieces of utility you can use to defend early T aggression. So for the first one, it's going to be your standard ramp Molotov that'll pop somewhere in this area here, and you're going to throw it by aiming slightly above this part of the wall that's sticking out right there while you're in short. So it'll look something like this, and then while you're running, you're just going to give it a left click throw. And as you can see, it pops right there, making it so the T's will have a hard time getting up the ramp. Another thing you can do from short is throw an HE while aiming at the bottom of this tree here, something like that. And what this will do is it'll pop right here and deal damage to any of the T's that are trying to get up towards cave and also slow them down. And another thing you can do from this cave position here is essentially the opposite of the molly that we showed off on the T side, where you bounce it off the top left part of the wall right here. And what this will do is it'll make it so that the T's can't come up and swing into you. But you do have to be careful because if the T's have a good spawn, they can beat you to this angle, so make sure you're aware of that while you're throwing it. It can sometimes be useful to smoke off B doors down here, and you can do this from long over here in this stuck position, and what you're going to do is aim at this intersection of the bricks, and then you're going to jump through the smoke, and it will look like so. It'll bounce off of here, and then the door, and pop right here. From that same position, you can also throw a flash for your teammates to peek up lane by aiming at the bottom of this wall here, taking a couple steps, and jump throwing the flash. From their point of view, they will have to play anti-flash before they peek, but after they do, they'll be able to peek into a bunch of blind T's. Another thing you can do from this side of the site over here is throw your own little pop flash by running along the edge of this shadow here. You're going to aim somewhere in this general area, and then while you're running, you're going to right click and jump throw the flash like so, and then you can simply peek with it. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is a smoke. So if you ever find yourself in this position here and you need to smoke off top ramp, you can do so by aiming at the center part of the wall right here, taking a step, and then left click throwing the smoke. And that will do it for the basic level utility on Ancient. Be sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.